13 degrees on this fine gray spring morning, and I'm headed to a reunion. Late nights, lots of booze, cigarettes, processed foods. How the heck am I going to stay on track with my macros? So the thing about coffee is you need to drink it first thing in the morning. This is what I would consider a single espresso. I mean, my espressos are 2 times this, quadruple espressos. That's the way to go. So the time is now 7:36. I'm in Zurich Airport, ready to go through the security process, which is one of my most fun experiences in life. And I'm heading over to northern Greece. It's gonna be a surprise where I'm going, but you're gonna love this place. A place where I had my most formative years as a kid. And I must say, if there is a place to go that is not an island in Greece, that is the place to go. I'll tell you more about it when we get there. In the meantime, I'm deliberating. How am I going to manage the feast, the booze, the smoke, the noise, the late nights? That is a problem for me. 53-year-old guy. Want to live gracefully, want to age gracefully, want to be healthy, and most importantly, my biggest problem is I don't want to put on any more weight. I don't want to be unhealthy. I've been there before. It sucks, you know. So now you come to an amazing event with a bunch of friends who are not on the same wavelength as you when it comes to what I'm doing anyway, but you gotta love them. The important thing is how to not be antisocial, how not to be a party pooper. How do you deal with all that when you're going to a reunion where people are really excited to see each other and they want to enjoy life? And enjoying life is one of the important things as things go, right? I mean, you don't want to be a complete stickler when it comes to training and fitness and not gaining weight and losing weight. My plan is I'm going to compromise. I'm not going to eat a lot of fatty foods. I'm going to avoid any carbs that are unnecessary. Try to keep things balanced and keep things measured and not succumb to social and peer pressure. That is the most challenging thing when it comes to social. I'm sure you would agree. So we're not gonna overthink this, to be honest, although I am. It is quite a stressful thing for me, believe it or not. But we got it under control. We got it under control. Let's finish with this coffee. I'll get more into it as and when. Okay, so I went in there looking for some chocolate and thought I'd get my mate something fun. I tell you, the moment I saw 75 francs for a kilo of chocolate, I just got out of there as fast as I went in. I love my guys. I'm just gonna stick to good old-fashioned dark chocolate and a kilo of nuts. Couldn't ask for something better, especially where I'm headed. There's something about traveling that really relaxes me. I guess it's the fact that nobody can really reach you when you're up in the sky. You know, you have that moment of reflection, that moment of silence. I'm actually looking forward to getting on the plane and just kind of having some time to myself, you know. So here we are at my favorite observation point at the airport. Lots of temptations around me, food-wise, drink-wise. It's amazing, and you can smell it all in the air, which is amazing. It's a wonderful feeling, and I gotta say, the things I like the most about Zurich Airport is the broadband. Oh, check this out. I just love airplanes. Airplanes are something that's always have fascinated me. Since I was a kid, I used to make model airplanes and hang them on my ceiling. So every time I come to an airport, I feel like a little boy again, you know? Surrounded by all these temptations and curiosities, people coming and going. You wonder where everyone's going, whether people are actually on holiday, if they're on business, or if they're going to a funeral. It's amazing. There's all walks of life just Coming and going at airports, and Zurich Airport in particular, is something that has always been fascinating to me, specifically because a lot of pivotal moments have occurred in my life here. But the broadband is just freaking awesome. It's like ludicrous speed. Whoops. Not as fast as I thought, but 100 megabits per second for a public place, airport, not too bad. You can still get a lot of work done. All right, let's get to our gate. Here we go. So here we are. This is it. This is where my journey has led me. This is where I had my most formative years as a kid at the age of, gosh, I must have been 13, 14 years old. This is the YMCA summer camp here in Greece at Aios Nikolaos in Chalkidiki. We're approximately 2 hours away from Thessaloniki, and I'm here with all of my childhood friends. This is where I really had some of the most amazing times as a child. I grew up here. I learned how to live in nature. I learned how to live among other people from different walks of life. We learned how to clean. We learned how to take care of ourselves. We learned about hygiene. We had entertainment. We learned how to be creative. We learned how to be participating in group sports. This is where I got my lifeguard certification. I was a shark, and then I had to jump off a cliff with my clothes on to create a flotation device out of my clothes. And that was one of the key tests I needed to do to become a lifeguard. And this was at the age of what? I don't know, I must have been 16 or 17 or something like that. 53 years old now. This is the third year that we're getting together here at the summer camp. And what an amazing place. Just soak it all up. You can hear the sea down below. You can hear the birds. Truly an amazing place that I'm always happy to come back to. And now it's springtime, so everything is green. Truly a blessing to be here. Down below, you take these steps, takes us to the boys' village, which is behind those trees. Let's go and have a look. What a beautiful smell. We used to walk down this pathway to get down to the boys' village. It's such a beautiful season to be here. You can see the sea below. Beautiful colors. Just imagine this place. Beautiful view. This is where we used to walk as kids down towards the basketball and athletics field. So this is the, we called it tent number 23. And this was my bed right here. A lot's changed since I was a camper here, but this is basically where 13 of us would actually lodge, if you want to call it that. But before, it just used to be a tent. There was no wooden or ceramic tiles on top. The roof was made of metallic bars, and so they had covered it with tarp. The sides, you can kind of still see some tarp here, so they've got everything closed down for the season right now before they actually get things going for the summertime. But this is basically where our communal area was as our team. And this is tent number 23. In my time, it was tent number 14 of the boys' village. And my bed used to be right here. Now, since then, what they've done is they've added brick to separate the beds between the other campers, and then This is cement. This didn't exist at that time. We had metallic bunk beds that used to make all kinds of noise. And this is where we used to hang our swimming suits and clothes to dry. We'd be here for 3 weeks, mind you. This was our balcony, but I'm going to show you in just a moment what the view looks like here. It's amazing. And you can hear the sea. Listen to it. Amazing. And then all of the tents would be connected, so we could actually go through this so-called balcony over here. We'd play games with other tents next to us, and we'd have a communal life for 3 weeks here in the summertime, which was amazing. Usually my favorite time of day here was between the hours of 2 and 5 p.m. It was like siesta time. And we would just sit here, and you could hear the cicadas, and we'd listen to music on the radio at that time. We would read Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse classics, la clásica, we used to call them. Every other page was color, and every other page was black and white. I remember that very clearly. People would be part of a chess club. Others would just kind of be sleeping or just fooling around. And it was a fun time. And then sometimes we actually did sleep in the afternoon. It was very common, especially on a hot summer's day. And you could get that breeze from the sea coming up from below. It was really very, very special. Let's go outside now. Let me show you the view. It's absolutely spectacular. Look at this. Wow, just look at that view. Soaking it all in. Unbelievable. This is where I spent 3 years during my youth, for 3 weeks at a time, just enjoying this amazing place. For me, it was really a place that played such a pivotal role in my development as a young boy, making friends, feeling accepted, feeling loved, in essence. Part of a community for 3 weeks at a time in the summertime. I really felt free here to be myself, which was just absolutely amazing. Lots of great memories down below on the beach. Swimming always in pairs with our friends for health and safety. And right now you can hear the wind. It's quite windy. In the mornings it'd be very calm, dead calm. And way beyond this tree over here, you can see Mount Athos. At the very end of a peninsula filled with monasteries from hundreds of years back, where only monks live. No women allowed. Alice and I took a little ship last summer and we coasted along the coastline there so I could show her the glimpses of the monasteries that I actually went to visit myself. Not when I was not in summer camp, but I went there with my dad once. What an experience that was. But this is just amazing. We're very lucky to have some sun today. It was forecasted to be a bit cloudy with a little bit of rain, but I think so far, just look at that view. So this was the path we used to walk down to get to the beach. And I tell you, after a long day's worth of swimming, it was a tough path to actually walk up again. Just look at this place. It's really, you can really smell the pines. You can hear the crackling of the dirt and stones and pebbles under my feet and the pine cones. It's just amazing. Such amazing, amazing memories. This is the path we go down to the beach. It's a bit of a windy day today. Are we gonna go swimming? Who knows? So this is the beach where we used to swim as kids. So because of the weather and the winter season, of course, the beach looks a little bit wild. So this is where we would put in these special lane dividers, and kids would swim in different zones, and then they'd swim in pairs, and then we'd swim here, and then later on we'd split the days between swimming and sailing, canoeing. Quite a fun time. All the way in the distance there is a town called Pirgadikia, and Pirgadikia is basically the closest little town or village, if you will, that the adult campers would go to on occasion to have a night out or something like that, especially when we were in training camp to become part of the staff, where we would actually become chiefs and
take care of the children. All right, let's head out to the boathouse called the Neosikos. So over there in the distance is what we call the Neosikos. It's a nice ancient Greek term for nothing else than the actual boathouse where we store all the various sailing vessels, canoes and stuff. And this is where lots of parties take place. Quite a fun thing. And let me show you the rock that I jumped off of to become a lifeguard. Right over there. And we'd have to jump in the water with all our clothes on and create a flotation device out of our clothes in the event that we actually didn't have a life vest. Then we'd need to tread water for a good solid minute or two with our hands and elbows outside of the water surface to show that we had strength, because you have to rely on your legs when you're a lifeguard, especially if you've got someone in your hands that you're trying to save. Now we're going to head back up, join a crowd, and I think later on I'm going to do a little bit of shadow boxing, burn off some of those extra nuts that I ate yesterday, because you know, too many nuts, that's too much energy in. Not enough energy out. Now, I just had an idea. Wouldn't this be a great hill for some hill sprints? Not today, I'm afraid. But we used to walk up this hill as kids, which was really the fastest route up to the boys' village. And the girls' village is further up. So the summer camp is basically divided in 3 levels. Well, actually 4. Sea level. And then the first level is where the boys' village is. That's the second level. Third level is the main administration building, the dining hall, and that's where all the kids would gather as a community. Whew! I'm glad I'm not doing hill sprints today. And then an extra level up is where the girls' village was. So they took good care to keep the boys and the girls separated from one another. But it was all good. And I tell you, you didn't gain any weight when you came to summer camp. Not at all. I don't plan on gaining any weight while I'm here either. Fooled ya. I can hear the guys. They're playing backgammon in the background. I've broken out into a sweat. Not bad. Good. And there's my friend Lucas.
Hello.
Hello, Lucas. How are you today?
Very fine.
Bravo, bravo. This is one of my dear friends, Luca. We grew up together here. Philos mas, o Lucas. A very dear friend of mine. We grew up. Πόσο χρόνο ήμασταν εσύ όταν ήμασταν στη 12-13 που ήμασταν, θυμάσαι?
Around 15.
We were 15 years old. Just at camp.
15, 14, something like that.
We were little kids playing
And we became
sfaliares.
friends out of the blue.
Yeah, and I remember Lucas, after one summer season, he had a brand new house. His father built a brand new house not far from here in a town called Nikiti. And he took us there to show us the house, and I was amazed. It was a beautiful traditional stone house, and he still has it. It's amazing. We were there with Alice last summer with his wife.
Great times in
Great times,
Halkidiki.
yeah, very
Great
great times.
times. And strong friendships.
That's the most important. And the history that we share together is what keeps us together. Brotherhood. Έτσι, φιλαράκο μου.
The best.
The best, the best. Εδώ. Βρε τα καλά παιδιά. Τι λέει το πρόγραμμα? So, this is the communal area where we would all sit as campers and have lunch and play games and have a late night discotheque. So I built up a nice sweat. Strategy, it's now 1 p.m., time to break my fast. So I've got these 2 sesame sticks. One of the strategies here is avoid a lot of fats. So as per my sports nutritionist, stick to some carbs. They're lower in fat, higher in carbs obviously, but we want to reduce the fat content. So I'm going to stick to some healthy sesame sticks, basically made of just some plain flour, yeast, not too much yeast, very little fat actually. And these are very low in sugar as well, covered in sesame sticks, and they're extremely tasty. And they actually go very fine with a nice Greek cup of coffee. Now, to get hydrated and join the group and have some more fun. I'll catch you in a little bit. So the strategy today is vegetables and protein. Vegetables and protein. That's what it is all about today.
Είσαι έρωτας, αυτό έχω να πω μόνο. Έλα, έχει κρεμμυδάκι. Μπράβο.
Ένας Ελβετός στη Χαλκιδική. Για ένα η αναζήτηση ενός ανθρώπου που ήθελε να τρώει.
Dinner time. It's dusk, and we're getting ready for some dinner now, and just want to tell you a little story. One of the most memorable moments that I had here at summer camp was after 10 p.m. when we'd all be back in our tents, tucked in our sleeping bags. They'd be playing Pink Floyd on the tannoy. The whole summer camp would hear that at night. It was just like amazing. They'd play Wish You Were Here and Shine On You Crazy Diamond. And I gotta tell you, since a 13-year-old boy, I was stuck on Pink Floyd. Remarkable memories. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Now, time for dinner. The guys are inside. They've already set the table. We're having orzo and beef stew, a classic dish. Moskari, kokiniston, very nice. So, in we go.
Και συν του ότι πρέπει να αναλάβει και τις ευθύνες του ως κουμπά.
So, Sunday morning, coffee cup at hand, up before everybody else. Still got a frog in my throat, but what a lovely, lovely morning it is. Just looking over onto the Aegean Sea with Mount Athos in the background over there. Quite a sight. I love it here. Such a beautiful place. Let's get ready for some morning stretching rituals, a little bit of shadow boxing, and have a great day. Walking down towards the old basketball courts and the athletic field. This was quite a huge event at summer camp every day. Now, of course, it's all paved and beautifully laid out, but in those days, it was just one big field of dirt. Nice to be here, and what's really nice is you can really smell. Today of all days, now you can really smell the pines. It's really, really amazing. They've even got some astroturf laid out here, which is kind of cool. Really like it. suppose my little bit of shadow boxing was overdue. A little bit of fat burn after this weekend, but you know, coming back here to summer camp with my buddies, we do this once a year now. It's going to become quite a routine for us. You know, come back here, remember where you come from, enjoy the food, enjoy the company, stay in control, don't be a buzzkill, enjoy it while you can, ready for what's waiting for us around the corner. Such a beautiful place to do it. Very grateful. So what do you do when you're out on a retreat, when you have a family reunion, or when you're with friends and family and you've got a goal, and the goal is stay fit, don't gain weight, don't overindulge? You know, you've got the choice. The choice is up to you. And the way I look at it, success is a choice. And that can be the smallest of things. Say a nice polite thank you but no to that extra slice of cake or that glass of wine. No reason for people to think that you're a party pooper. You know, you get to this age, everyone's gotten here by making choices, and I've made mine. I choose to be with my friends. I choose to invest in my health. You know, we had a lot of late nights, I'll give you that. But there's a plan for that as well. We're gonna go back home, get back to the routine. Until then, stay nicely hydrated, still make the right choices. You know, that's what I have to deal with every single day. I've got a goal, try to stay as healthy and as fit as possible. And along the way, enjoy friendships, enjoy feeling loved by friends who mean something to me. And that's it. So, you know, coming here wasn't just a reunion, it was a reset. Really. We came here, we met, we joked, we had laughs, we had some deeper moments, we reflected, and now where I'm going from here, I've got all the fuel I need. All the fun, all the memories, everything that really defined me as a person really began here, where I found my own freedom. And I'm very, very grateful. What do you do when you go to reunions? What do you do when it comes to trying to stay on track, when it comes to your nutritional goals, your counting your macros? Do you count your calories? Do you just let loose? Drop me a message in the comments below. Let me know. I'm really curious to know. From my end, this was more than just about food. It was about memories. It was about emotion. It was about feeling. It was about passion. It's really what makes life worth it to me. And I know we're going to come back here again next year, and we're just going to carry on. I got plenty of energy to take me where I'm going now. So for now, I will see you in my next video.